Are you actually making us use coasters?
What?
You're actually making us use these granny coasters?
It's Mrs. W.
Mrs. W will tits up. She'll be coming charging through that door if she sees
Do
you
you think you're
at
dying,
your
yeah?
table.
The freeze will be like that.
What?
We can get a runner if you want one of those, a long runner.
This is very civilised.
You can move it, see if the coaster's bothering you, you can take it away, but you can give Caroline a wee. I'll give Caroline a phone, you can explain why there's a big fuck off ring on the table, on the new table.